earlier this week, a friend of mine was traveling in Florida and sent me a picture of delicious pretzel, and I realized I haven't made those for quite some time, and I really do miss the taste of a good soft pretzel. Today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make this delicious treat right in your own home. It's very straightforward, just follow along. The ingredients you're going to need are a tablespoon of yeast, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of warm water, 2 3/4 cups of flour, some coarse salt, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and 4 cups of water. To start putting this together, we're going to take roughly a cup of our flour and put it into a large bowl. And in my case, I'm using my mixer's bowl because I'm going to use that to knead this dough in a little while. We're then going to throw in our sugar, our yeast, and our salt, as well as our butter, and finally our 1 cup of warm water. And I'm using pretty hot tap water here, and just give it a quick little mix and leave it for just a few minutes for that yeast to start blooming. Now, once this mixture has been sitting for about 5 to 10 minutes, we're going to put in the rest of our flour. And I'm going to be using a dough hook. And we're just going to let that mix and knead until the dough becomes nice and smooth. And once your dough has come together nice and smooth, we're simply going to, in this case, I'm taking out my dough hook. And again, you can do this by hand if you don't have a mixer. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. We're simply now going to remove the dough hook, and I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap and a tea towel just for about an hour or until that dough has doubled in size. Now, towards the end of the dough rising, you're going to start getting a couple of things together. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find yourself a pot that is not aluminum. This is very important. It has to be stainless steel or something like that. You can use cast iron. I'd recommend not. I definitely would recommend something that is stainless steel. And into that, you're going to put 4 cups of water and about 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and we're going to bring that to a boil. You're also going to lightly grease a cookie sheet with butter and preheat your oven to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. And our dough has risen beautifully over the last hour, and so now we're going to take this out of here and knead it a very, very short time, probably just a minute or so, just to sort of deflate it, and then we're going to start shaping it. And just knead it for just a few moments until it's kind of deflated. And we're going to divide this roughly first into 3. And then into 6. And then on your work surface, you're going to basically start rolling these out into a cylindrical shape. Now, you can cheat, and of course you can make these as big or as small as you like, but 6 gives you a pretty decent sized pretzel for each one, and you basically want to make this into a long sausage as easy as possible. You just roll it on the counter, making sure it's well floured. Start from the center, move your hands out as you go. And the dough will try and pull itself back, that's okay. Just keep going and it will retract. Now if you're struggling a little bit, really easy. Take your ball of dough and start rubbing your hands together, letting it come out the bottom there. It's going to make a really weird looking sausage. Turn it around, do it the same back the other way, and just slowly letting it sink down and flip it over and do the same again. and just do that a couple of times until it's roughly even all the way down. And what this will also do is help get rid of all that air. And then fold it into your pretzel shape. And we're going to now fold them into our pretzel shape, very simply, one side over the other, just like that. Sort of push down the ends a little bit. And you can obviously stretch them out as much as you like, but go ahead and do that with all of them and just set them aside for a couple of minutes before we boil them. And now we get our workstation prepared, our water is boiling, and we've got our ready pretzels on this side. We're going to dunk them into this mixture for 1 minute and 15 seconds on one side, flip it over for another 1 minute and 15 seconds, and then straight onto the baking sheet ready for the oven. Now the reason why we don't want to go much longer than that is it'll make the dough very, very tough. We want this basically just to start accelerating the cooking process and get it to sort of puff up quite a lot. And once all of your pretzels are boiled, you're going to sprinkle them liberally with nice coarse salt and pop them into your 475 Fahrenheit oven for 12 to 15 minutes or until they're nice and darkly brown. And then enjoy. Now I have to tell you that you start getting that fresh pretzel smell right after you take it out of the water bath, but when they come out of the oven they just smell amazing. And I'm actually quite excited for these. They are soft and still quite warm, and just amazing. I'm going to pull some apart here. It's bready and doughy, but it's still quite light. I really do like that texture. I'm going to dunk it in a little bit of mustard because, of course. That's just amazing. What I love about this is there's a slight crunch from where it's been sitting on the baking tray in the oven, but it is soft and warm and just pulls apart. This is just fantastic. You have to try this. And if you do, I want to hear from you in the comment section how it turned out for you. Remember too, if you enjoyed this video, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and remember to turn on notifications so that you know when my next video drops. Remember too that you can follow me on all my social media, and those links are below in the comment section as well. Now, if you would like to try some of my other snacks and treats, as well as some of my breads, you can follow these two playlists. And until next time, happy eating.